Hey guys, Tomboy601, and today we're taking a look at new Amalfi, the improved Amalfi, the SAP Amalfi, talking through SAP, what you need to know about, all that good jazz. So if that sounds good to you, hit the like button down below, and let's just get on into it. Now, I think there is a little bit of friction within the community as to whether SAP is worth it. And I understand because it is a new shell type, and I think you have to relearn how to play in order to really get the most out of SAP. What's the idea of SAP? Well, right now, or before this, we had two shells in the game, right? We had HE and we had AP. HE follows a rule of penetration of 1/6. If it couldn't penetrate the armor it hit, it had a percentage chance to set fire, which allowed you to do damage over time. Cool. You also have AP, which has its own penetration formula, whether it's going to deal damage, but it's very dependent on the angle that it impacts the surface of the ship that you're attacking, right? HE doesn't care about it. It's just going to do damage to whatever it hits. AP does matter. Now, what SAP does is it kind of blends those two things together. It gets much better angles for it to be able to penetrate, and it's going to do a good chunk more damage, but at the cost of losing that ability to set fires. So when you play with it, you swap out HE for SAP, so you do give up one of the tools that you may be used to using on any of the other HE boats out there. And frankly, it can take a little bit of adjustment. Personally, it actually totally switched up my build because when you put SAP on a ship, it's also going to increase the reload time. All these factors compounding, it made me switch up my build in order to get a better result. So originally, I was all about rocking Soundwave on Amalfi with a double rudder build. I think previously what you kind of had to do in this game with the Italian cruisers was you just needed to stay alive to have any sort of battle impact, right? You had a long reload, and the only way to really do anything to get good damage over time was to stay alive to the end game. That was your only really chance, and even then, it could have been a struggle. Now, in order to have battle impact, I think you have to switch it up. One, I'm now running Mimbelli. He's going to have that better reload time to help compensate for the added reload that SAP adds. But additionally, I'm actually running Norman Scott because SAP shells are a bit wonky. You have to know where you want to aim for them. Because they still follow the 1/6 rule of HE, i.e., multiply the caliber of the gun by 1/6 or 0.16666. We've covered this already this week, I believe. If not, we have a video talking about HE this week, so be sure to check that one out. But because of that, and no longer having the chance to set fire, the shells that land that you would usually like aim just above the waterline, and then because of RNG, it would kind of spread across the hull. Now you much more want to aim up into the upper bit of the hull, above the armor belt, but below and into the superstructure, because that's the only place where you're going to get damage. Previously, if you hit the armor belt and you didn't have the pen to go through it, that's okay because you had that fire chance, right? And that fire chance meant you still ended up dealing damage usually over time. Now you need to be a bit more surgical. You need to be a bit more precise about the way you aim. And I think that's the real nice thing about the Italian boats is now we are seeing the final evolution of these ships. Before it was very much try to survive, try to have some battle impact. Now, if you can get the SAP to work for you, if you understand the strengths and weaknesses of it, if you can get the shells to land, if the ship is coming dead on to you, if you can get it to land up in that superstructure, you can get the big hits. You can still do some pretty good damage, but it requires a lot more from you. Conversely, if the enemy knows what they're doing, if they understand how to angle to you, if they understand that you're that that, you know, if they dead on to you, it's going to be a lot harder for them to angle. If they understand that you have the guaranteed pen of 70 degrees and guaranteed ricochet at 80 degrees, they understand all of that. SAP can be harder to use. It is a give and take, and one that personally I'm enjoying because it's a new way to have to think and have to play this game, but it can reward you. And as a result, the other thing I think we should talk about SAP is where it's effective and what ships it's effective against. You know, there are certain ships that you will just wreck shop against, and there are certain ships that you're just gonna get shatters, and you're going to end up, you know, not doing too great against destroyers. You are a one of a kind, absolute monster to them. However, as you can see with the Siegfried, we're landing shots into the superstructure, but it's a bit difficult, right? The turrets are right there. They can absorb the SAP and not really do much. We can fire the shot that looks beautiful, and it can all land short. And you know, you just kind of have to take it and leave it as it goes. I think, like I said, SAP, it's about finding where you truly need to do that damage and delivering it. And that's why personally I've built into accuracy more with my Italian cruisers now, because I need those shells to land where I want them to land. It's no longer a, oh, fire's a runner-up prize and it will still do decent. Now we don't have that option, and now we kind of need to find other ways. Anyways, as we finish off this game right here, we're gonna go ahead, finish off Mogami here with our guns, and then completely fail at a torp run. But it's okay, because guess what? We can just side check the Siegfried right here, and down he goes. We're all set. Guys, if you liked the video, go ahead and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day. See ya.